Town Council regular meeting, July 16, 2026, Cape Charles Civic Center. Could I get a roll call, please?
Newman present.
Holloway present.
Buckles present.
Yuta present. Grossman present.
Ashworth present.
And let it be known we've established a quorum. If we could all rise for a moment of silence and pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Do you have any public comments?
Shirley Galloway.
Good evening to all, to our mayor and to the town council members. I am Shirley Galloway at 541 Madison Avenue, and I'm standing in really for my son because I had asked him to come down for me to, with a matter that we had as far as parking at the First Baptist Church at the corner of Nectarine and Madison. And it's one of the residents that live on the opposite side of the church. And you have a copy of this as well because he gave it to all of you at a couple of, in June, I don't know if it was June meeting or May, but but anyway, when we have morning worship service, we can't get in the building because he has the two SUVs right there, parked directly where they have to go in to go up the ramp. We have about 4 that need to use that ramp for, with the handicap accessibility ramp that we have. So it's a lot of engineering trying to get these folks in, and especially like if it's on a rainy or inclement weather to get them in. But he never parked on his side where he owns the house. And he has the 2 SUVs and one has a trailer, and they're always there. They're just always there at all times. If he leaves to go out, he'll leave the trailer, or he might pull the trailer on that side and leave the trailer on his side, but it's always at the end of the street. It's never, ever to his door. So every Sunday it's a problem because that leaves us it leaves us 2 handicap spots for the parking, but then you have to walk back down to get down to the ramp to go into the social hall of the church. So that has been. I spoke to him on one occasion, and he looked at me like I was somebody from another planet. But anyway, just being very calm and just asking him if he would take it in consideration. So that was a year and a half ago. So he reluctantly did it, but he hasn't done it since. So I don't know where council has gone, to look into that. My son has gone down to the office to talk with someone, but he hasn't been successful as yet because they have been out of the office for whatever reason. So that is just the main concern that we have, just with that. It's not so much of making everything handicapped because, I don't think that would be feasible and that probably wouldn't fly anyway. But I do think that if we have a time frame, we start our services, Sunday school starts at 9 o'clock, and we start very prompt with everything, 9 o'clock for Sunday school. Promptly right at 10 o'clock is our worship service. And then like after that, sometimes we have a choir rehearsal or whatever. So give or take from 9 to about 1:30 or 2 o'clock, we are in there, somebody's in there doing whatever it is that we do. So that has just been a major problem there. And I just wanted your feedback on it, if any has been done. The second that I have, it was the street name, and my son also did this as well, and that had to do with the consideration of where Mr. Thomas Godwin lives, on that little street there. If that, because all that he has done and put into the town, and of all the time that he has been a resident here in the town of Cape Charles, we wanted to honor him as an individual that have made a major impact in the town of Cape Charles. So I don't have to reread that because all of you have copy of that as well. So just wanting to know, that's all I'm here for tonight, is just to see what follow-up, if anything, if, yay or nay, maybe, or whatever that might come to mind that, what we can do in both of these situations. But if it's something that you need specifically, you can just ask me and I'll do my best.
Is there any handicap spots by the ramp?
No, not at the ramp. It's two right there, the main entrance of the church. Right.
I've already reached out to VDOT on both of these matters,
Yes,
and they are reviewing it.
okay,
And so, I'll just touch base with them again, see where they're at.
okay,
I mean, that's usually I give them a long list of projects,
okay,
and some are large projects. We had one with 53 trees that they were analyzing. That's another large one that we're working at.
okay,
I'll just touch base with them.
okay.
So it's been turned in. Whatever the last time you came in is when I turned it in.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And the third and the last thing is that with our driveway, when they have with the in the park, we have folks coming, or we're doing something on Saturday. They have a tendency to block the driveway, so we can't get in to get our supplies in or get out. And so we're going to have a few events that's coming up with the children, bounce houses, and all of this. So the vehicles will need to get in, but they block it. My question is that do I have to have anything in place from the town to say that the height of what my little sign can say, please no parking, or please do not block the driveway? And I was going to get, I think it's Mr. Andy. Did I talk to you about that before? Okay, maybe not. Okay, but
Maybe
anyway.
it was at the shop.
Okay, right, at the shop. And so I wanted to see if it's anywhere, what I have to do, the spacing, the height, and all of that, just to put there, so that we can be able to get in, get in and out.
They have the same problem over on Peach Street,
Okay,
and they use a sign that's a traditional real estate size sign that says, "Do not block driveway" or "No parking," and they just put it out, when they need it.
Okay.
And is
If
this
that's
your personal address, the church's address? I didn't catch that.
it's the church's
The church's
address, 501 Nectarine Street.
right.
Yes.
But you could just put a cone in the center of that driveway. That helps. It's across the street from me, so I watch my neighbor
Okay,
face that same challenge.
There's gotta be some sort of regulation from a.
Well,
Well, you can call the police.
You
and
can
they'll
call
write
the
a ticket.
police, then they'll write a ticket.
No,
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
emergency, not emergency.
I didn't think that's the way you wanted to go, so that's why those two options work well for my
simplest way
neighbor.
is to do what take a real estate sign,
calling right
small,
away.
and put it right there, and it's and if they do block it, then you call the police. The
Yeah.
non-emergency number.
right, okay. Yes, because like last week when the DeLoreans, I believe
Yeah.
I'm pronouncing it right, they were here. And so and I had to get in because I had a car full of things from BJ's Supplies. And so anyway, but they were very nice, they was visiting. And so I said, you could just back up a little so I can get in. So then I said, even better yet, you can pull up on the property and just park here, and then after that, somebody else came. And then I was blocked in, but I live right next door, so I was blocked in. But anyway, those are just some of the concerns.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever kind of talked through, like, we don't mean to seem indifferent, but like, there's not a whole lot that we as council can do on these fronts, because have you had those conversations about?
Well, I mean,
Yes.
I've talked to VDOT about all these, not about the driveway block.
No, that was
That's-
yeah.
mine's new for the evening.
Yeah.
That was one added on, that was a new one. Yes, I was just basically following up, so now that I know that you have already, it's been submitted, so we're just waiting on VDOT. So-
Yeah, and what will happen normally is VDOT will give me direction. So for example, about the parking, I gave them an example of the Christian church, the Christian school. They already have a little
Yes.
sign that's kind of asking for something similar. That's what I asked for.
Yes.
And what will probably happen is they will come back and say, we will allow it if that's what the council wants. But then we'll create a resolution and we'll declare that area
Okay,
for a sign, and then we will go back to VDOT with a resolution saying this is what we want
okay,
for their approval.
yes,
So that's how, and then I think the same way would be on the spaces.
yes. We have 2 spaces already. Those are at the front, like a.
Yeah, so that's another, I mean, that's a challenge because it's public parking. But
Yes,
we're
I know
wanting to
that's-
put a sign up so that we can block that off. So I think that would eliminate that. If you put a sign up saying, this is during church hours, this is reserved for that, kind of same, I think that would help connect that, or at least open that space up.
Okay,
And if there's a ramp there, can that be part of this project that we're trying to do, like with VDOT and the Civic League, where we're painting kind of yellow to
Yeah.
demark it as?
The ramp should not be
Yeah.
What's that?
blocked. The ramp should not.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly.
It'd be painted would probably be a helpful solution.
Yeah, you would. I mean, VDOT's already said, let me know the projects that you want to be able to do like that, and we'll put them on a map so that we'll do multiple cases and they'll do it. So yeah, I'm just waiting for their direction at this point.
right, because I know Mr. Goodrich, he has a little sign there that says, like no parking, something handicap. And I knew that was, like the official coming from VDOT. But because he has folks as well, just, just going in, and so he just put his little sign there so that those that, had, those infirmities or problems or whatever,
Right.
to be able to get in. But I do appreciate you listening.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and your follow-up information.
Yep.
Okay, now, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
No one else has signed up.
All right. All right. So this evening, we're going to start it off with the live demonstration of new business license software. Lexi of the Civic Review. Oh, okay.
Right there.
Sorry.
Okay, John, can you hear us?
Yeah, is it my turn?
Yes, I'm trying to see if we can get you, get the volume up all the way and see if we can get you on.
All right.
So we're going to have Mary come in and explain what this is in a brief way before he comes on, so you'll know,
Okay.
and why we do it.
They're not visible.
Oh.
So I'll just speak really loud. How's that?
It's less intimidating.
Thank you.
I don't know.
So I wanted to let you know that this is Civic Review, the company that we've decided to handle our online business license and special event permitting process. John Reynolds is the CEO and founder of the company. And you're out where, John? In Utah, is that right?
You can't hear him, can you?
So he's going to give us a quick overview of what this looks like for the public, for a
Marilyn's
business
giving them a-
at any point to come online, put in the information, file for their business license. On the backside, Katie Lewis, our business specialist, and Jessica and Michelle and Adrian and I, we all take that information, we do our magic, and then they pay and they get their certificate and they're done. We want to make it as easy on our customers as we possibly can, but we also want to be there for them. So we'll be taking payment by credit card on this site, but we will be accepting cash and checks in the office, at least for a period of time, as we see how this goes. So I hand it over to you, John. Thanks so much for your staff's help in getting us to this point.
I hope we can hear, because,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
on-
make sure they can hear us.
you can't hear.
Is
us.
there a microphone we can put up to it?
He does.
Oh.
And I'm trying to,
Microphone by the speaker.
yeah, I'm trying to find the speaker.
You have your volume already
Right in
turned
the
up?
The
bottom.
volume's up all the way. How's that?
Volume's up all the way.
No.
Testing. Still can't hear.
Could you try it up here and see if that microphone picks up better?
We're gonna see if we can push on a different microphone. Let's see.
This is the one with the white hair.
Just a
You mean you?
Oh, silver.
No,
No.
no, I think it's worse. I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh?
Is it volume on the TV?
That's what
The volume on the TV's up all the way.
Yeah. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you can. And the volume on
Yell.
TV's up all the way.
Hello. You can hear me if you're in front of me, huh?
Yes.
Barely.
I'll just keep making noise.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, hello. Is that louder?
A little bit.
More volume than the volume of the
Yeah. Make sure you can try to make the audio go to the TV. I don't even know if that's possible.
That, was it on the first one?
No.
That's what it was on the first one.
It's not changing much.
Look at that.
Oh.
Oh, my gosh.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Flippity, flappity. Running out of stuff to say.
Yeah.
How many council members are there?
We have 7.
Could it be inside the box anywhere?
Check, 1, 2.
I can hear him talking, but it's not as good as it was.
Yeah.
And it'll have a device
Test. Yeah. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, start moving knobs. Then you'll start having squealings. I'm sorry, John.
Okay.
You called it on the phone.
I mean, it's almost like opening the hood of cars,
Yeah.
like you have a.
You act like you know what you're looking at.
You called it on this phone.
Yeah, let me see if I can, there's a way that we can call you, can't we? I'm gonna put this back here so I can work.
There's not an audio cord connection that can plug into the sound system.
Let's
You could call him.
What is
Yeah.
what is your phone number?
Yeah, my direct line is 435
435.
881. Oh, scratch that. That was my cell phone. Right.
Wrong number.
435
244.
2844.
2844. He's calling now. Is it not ringing?
Just spinning.
It's just spinning? I wonder if we're having slow internet problems too.
No, you wouldn't have a feed like that.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
oh, it's starting to ring now. It's ringing now.
There we go.
There we go.
Can we put,
We can turn that up.
Oh, damn it, Eddie, you're gonna hang up on it.
Did you hang up?
Oh,
You hit it right up.
you know, I heard the first time I touched it.
can you go get me another one of those fudge brownies?
You need a cookie?
Yeah, I'm in the need of something.
I think you're out of time.
I think you're right. Oh, God.
All right, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna get a cookie.
We all need cookies.
You got you? All right. There we go.
So, can everybody hear me when it's on speaker?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're in business. All right. Do you want to let me know how much time you want me to take? I can adjust it to whatever we have here.
5
We take
minutes, John.
a little bit of time getting set up.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Can you do 5 minutes?
5 minutes. 55.
I-
No.
55.
I was just repeating what she said.
We'll do 5. That
Okay.
should be no problem. Okay, yeah, thanks for joining. I know you guys are curious to see what Civic Review does. So I'm going to share my screen, and I want to make sure that everybody can see this, first of all. I know there's kind of a big screen in that room somewhere. So can you see this sample approval workflow?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So Cape Charles signed up for a Civic Review to be able to take applications online. Previously, paper-based. Somebody would give you paper form, and I don't know exactly what you guys were doing, but it's pretty common for them to just physically pass the paper around. And it slows up the whole process and makes it difficult. And they can't apply online, and then they're waiting longer because you're passing papers around. And so with Civic Review, an applicant would submit a form online, and then it would go through some kind of a workflow. And Civic Review has tools to track all of the approvals, to route it out to people all electronically, so different staff members can log in. And so what we can see in this workflow, somebody would fill out this application, and it might be approved, and then they could pay their fees, and then you could have like a zoning approval and a fire department approve it, and police, and kind of route it out and collect approvals online. So what I wanted to, I pulled up the website, and these are kind of the old forms, PDF forms, and when an applicant needs some kind of a license, they're going to click on it, and they may fill it out with their computer like this, but they still can have to email or print it off and bring it in. And so what we did is our team has set up an online version of the form. So you can see this is the version that's set up. It's not launched yet, but I think it's ready to go from everything I understand. Is that right?
Yes.
Libby can chime in. So, okay, so I went ahead and filled that out.
We're having technical difficulties.
It's the internet is sluggish now.
Somebody let him know.
An application for a business, a manufacturer.
Can you pick up
You
the,
can't hear us?
You can only hear through his computer.
called Best.
can you talk to him down there?
I've got you.
He's been asking.
This, do I need to make it?
Yeah.
Okay, I filled out this form, and an applicant is going to fill it out. They're going to put all the details in here. So I'm just skipping through because I already saved all of the inputs up to this point. And there's a credit on the amount due because of the previous tax payment. This is just a thing that I set up. And then an alcohol fee because we sell alcohol. And so it kind of shows the projected total. And the staff is going to be able to go in and review this application before they pay their fees. So as a resident, I would go in here, I can review all the information, and then I can hit submit. And then it says your application is complete, and they have a portal. So then the applicant, they can look at this portal and they can see where it's at in the process, and they can use this portal to communicate with staff and everything. And then staff, they're going to go in and they're going to see this application that's come in. And this is what it looks like on the Civic Review side of things. And they can go down here and they can look at all the information that was submitted. If they need to make any changes to the fees or whatever, first they can do that. If they want to communicate with them, this goes into their portal, so that I'm looking at the portal now, and they can see if I reload it, they can see that message and respond or whatever. And, and then the staff might just approve it. And in this case, this is the type of business that just requires a one-step approval, but it could be a multi-step process or a workflow over here that could be set up on this end. So like that, then the applicant gets an email that says, great, you can pay your fees. And if I reload the applicant's portal, they've got the fees here, and they can go and they can make a payment online just through payment processor. So I don't know why that's taking a minute, but you get the idea. You can, and I overheard you saying you can take credit card. You could also still take cash and check. So applicants could still apply in person. They could still come into the office, and you could just say, yeah, we got a check for 45, so we'll just put this in here and save that payment. And then if that happens, then we reload. They can just print their business license, and they're ready to go. So, and that's that's the 5 minute. Maybe I took a little bit more than 5. I'm not sure, but that's the nutshell version of what Civic Review does. So, do you guys have any questions for me?
Are there other applications, other things that people need to pay for that could run through this as well?
We have the event forms and use of facility forms set up in here right now. And we can always add some as they come up.
This company also does building, permitting, planning, zoning. Not that we've talked to them about it, but so far we're really happy with what we see on the business license side. But once we launch, we will know more.
Right. And then that would go, if you did do the planning and zoning and all that stuff for permits and all that, it would automatically go out to the 5 different people that would need to approve that application. It doesn't like take one and wait.
Correct.
They'd all get it.
When are you hoping to launch?
That's right.
We wanted to launch on August 1st. Katie, are we still pretty good for that? If we can get some training time ourselves?
Yes.
So we'll make a splash of it, so it'll be soon.
Great.
Well, this looks
That's
much
great.
easier than the short-term rental.
Poor Casey.
Sorry, Casey.
There's the segue.
Exactly.
If there are any questions for me, I'll just need you to relay it to me. I don't really hear the chatter in the room. Just
No, you're all good. Thank you so much for the presentation.
They like the product.
Then Libby, I couldn't hear you, but
Thank you.
yeah, that's everything then, right? All right, thanks guys.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, now we know how to use the phone as well. This is very productive. All right, like Casey was saying, we are going to just segue right into the mid-year short-term rental update.
Well, like Adam was saying, yeah, for the last 6 months have been kind of a challenge. But one of the reasons that I'm here tonight, or the reason that I'm here tonight, is just because I want to show you guys everything that we've accomplished. But not only that, for our audience or whoever else might be watching too, we're always trying to educate everybody about how to use this software, right, and what it does. That's been the biggest learning curve, I think, too, even from my perspective. I don't think I realized at the beginning all of this, how difficult it was going to be for our residents, for our ST owners and stuff like that, to kind of go use what they know and kind of attack this thing and get in there and get moving around and whatnot. So we've learned a lot about all of that. So I wanted to give you guys an update and reintroduce all of this software to you, because the last time I was here too, basically what I did was a couple hours before I came to tell you about this software, I had some screenshots, and that's all I really had. And so now the entire thing is all fleshed out. It's got everybody's information in there, and so it looks a lot different. Let's see. Hopefully I can avoid technological challenges too. Let's see. Let me get off of this. been a little bit slow. Here we go. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do was just reintroduce you to the short-term rental site. As everyone probably knows, you can go to the government, you can go to planning and zoning, or you can go to building, and you can just click on short-term rental vacations. But a lot of things have happened since the last time I was here. One of the big things that has happened, in addition to the STR customer portal going live, now we can see everything that is in the public portal. And if you've been there recently, then you know that the public portal has all 308 certificates currently mapped out on the map. So now you can see it all. It's all live. It breaks down where everybody's rentals are. And then it's also going to tell everybody too, okay, well, this particular rental at 307 Randolph, it's got X amount of bedrooms, etc. A large part of this too just has to do with the links that we have that we had advertised before. Obviously you've got places here where you can call in a complaint, a concern, but you have non-emergency numbers in here as well. So one of the things that I've been working on lately too is trying to educate folks about this. Hey, if you have an issue, whether it be trash or some other type of issue, and thank you, Adam, because he referred somebody to it just the other day too. They called me, I talked to them, and I had them put in a complaint in the complaint portal. Bam, now it is captured, and that helps us too with compliance, because as you know, you need probable cause. It's great when you hear from somebody, but when you can show them something physical too, and you've got something written down and or pictures that you've given you, then it's a lot more helpful. So all of this stuff is live now. The customer portal has been evolving over time. We've taken care of a lot of the support issues and whatnot that is in there. You can see that we've got all of this information that's on there now too, including an application user's guide, where if you want to, if you need to, you can go through and it'll walk you through step by step exactly what you need to do. All the hiccups that we've identified so far, all the problems, questions that we've had, now this addresses that. Oftentimes what will happen too is I'll just grab a slide off of here, email it to somebody. Oh, okay, I get it now. Another thing that you'll find there too, we're in the second quarter right now of TOT reporting, is you'll find all of our TOT scenarios too. This is basically a document where if you're not sure how to report TOT, you can go in and see examples. Scenario number 2 is the most common. Hey, I have Airbnb, I have VRBO advertisements, they remit all of my taxes for me. What do I need to do? How do I enter in that? And get it to come out so that it's zero and I don't owe anything, because they're going to be paying you. So we've got that to help folks out as well. And of course, a variety of other information on here too, including the quarterly information here, when that starts, when it begins. Now we've got the ADU affidavit that's up there as well. So anybody who's coming through the STR portal can fill out the ADU affidavit if that applies to them. So just want to constantly redirect people back to this site. It's got a whole lot of new information on there too, and it's great for the public, and it helps us capture more information and get people to where they need to be. So the other thing that I wanted to do with you, besides reintroduce some of this stuff, including would also be to reintroduce to you Rentalscape. So Rentalscape is not something for the public, it's just for us, right? But Rentalscape is the software that we're using to manage all of our applications, to have people do TOT, etc. But it's also extremely helpful with compliance. As you can see, now that everyone has reported, we've got everyone's blue dots out there and we've got red dots. But essentially, Rentalscape scours the internet for all the advertisements that are out on the internet too, so we can see who is licensed, who is unlicensed, who is advertising, who's not.
The question I had with this was, you had for the number of properties on the right-hand side, 398.
Right.
Yet we have 308 or so.
Correct. So one of the things that happens here is sometimes it finds other properties and it adds it to there too, aside from just the ones that we've identified. But that's part of what we're constantly doing too, is validating all the information that we get through the site and through the software. So you will see differentiation, you'll see differences across the platforms too. And sometimes when I report that we have 334 applications in, that doesn't mean that we have 334 STR certificates, even though I may have certified the majority of them, because sometimes they withdraw applications, etc. They go away, homeowner sells it, the next person isn't going to use it as a rental. So it's something where you're going to see a lot of different numbers, and then sometimes you just have to look at it very carefully. So this is an example too of a house that has live listings that is registered at STR, and you can see there's multiple listings there, and I can go on here, I can see check their availability, see if they have available dates. I can look at their reviews, I can see if they have, if it is unlicensed, I can go, oh, wait a second, here I see that somebody came and stayed in June of 2026 and they came through your website. So that's what I'm using for compliance purposes. I can see the advertisements online, or I can go knock on the door and say, hi, I'm here to see Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, the owner. Oh, I'm sorry, we're just here renting. Okay, so that's how we're typically coming up with who is and who is not renting. This is just one of many steps.
Are you finding a lot of those instances where you have to do that?
Sure. One of the things that I was going to show you is that we've had, I've had about 30, after we finished all the application process, I found about 39 red dots that I started investigating, looking into more and whatnot, and I narrowed that down to a group of people and then started working through our compliance process, issuing violations, etc., until we get to what we've currently got. So I'll skip to that real quick. That's a compliance piece here. So, for example, I had 39, where did I have that there? Compliance. 39 STRs that I have started investigating, but it came down to about, about 16 first-time violations. After we issued a violation to 16 of those folks, some of those are booster applications that never got completed either. Then that went down to 8 second-time violations. After we got compliance, they put in applications, they finished applications, etc. Then just in the last 14 days, there have been 9 new applications that have come in as a result of that. So, and now we've narrowed it down to 2 or 3 unlicensed STRs that are in the town.
That's
and
great.
They've been given an adequate amount of time. We've taken them through the violation process, and hopefully we're not going to have to placard those STRs, but if necessary, we will.
So a quick question, just going back to the billing. I know that the Vrbo and Airbnb all remit, but if they still apply after the 20th, if they're late, will that then put a late fee on there still, or no?
If they still apply
Like,
after the 20th?
No, not apply. If
Oh.
they turn in after the 20th, or whatever the deadline date is for the quarter,
Sure.
will it actually calculate?
It will.
Okay.
It's going to calculate, so you're going to see here as far as TOT compliance is concerned. Sorry, I don't have it full screen there. But for TOT, during the reporting period, they're going to get emails that are going to tell them the reporting period is open. Then about every 7 days, I believe, they get another email that says, thank you, or you haven't reported your TOT yet. And eventually what will happen is at the end of the 20 days, then it's going to give them a notification that's going to say overdue, right? And then it's going to start charging them fees and interest after that. So a couple of the other points that I was going to hit on just real quick are we do have 334 applications. 308 have led to certifications. See if I can get that to go back up to the whole screen. 4 of those were accessory dwelling units. There we go. So 24% of all of those STRs are locally owned. Part of the power of all of this is all the data that it's given us too, that we'll be able to track. I made a map here of where all of our STR owners are coming from too, if you're interested. It kind of validates, all the data starts to validate things that we know or that we thought we knew about all of our STRs. So you can see a lot of them are coming from the Northeast here, various parts of Virginia, out west, Colorado. There's actually some that are off the map, one in England, etc. Let's see here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go into inspections. So 1/3 of all inspections this year failed. That was more than I had expected, but it's good that we're catching all of these types of things, right? We have an inspection portal. We are able to send pictures after the inspection, an email, etc., request the corrections. So this slide here is basically showing you that the majority of our corrections are all about safety. Vast majority of them are smoke detectors, especially at the beginning of the season when a lot of people, owners have not been and have checked those things, and they've come down over the course of the summertime, or they haven't been back in there. Fire extinguishers, we had a structure, a second story deck that was not secured to the side of the house. We've had third story railings that were loose. We've had a variety of different things. But in large part though, the vast majority of those have been occupancy issues. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we had a year and a half ago, we had new occupancy ordinances that went into place. People used their grace period, and then this year they were still catching up to the code. So that's roughly about 37 instances and about 22% of all the corrections. If you notice, there were 169 corrections. So that's a lot of corrections too, and that's a lot of processing paperwork. Instead of 300 inspections, there were actually 400 inspections because it required pictures and re-inspection. So at some point or another, you all might want to check out some of these other pictures. I put in more things after I originally submitted it. Some of the other info I had for you, there's 19 booster permits, which led to 26 additional off-street parking spaces.
What is that booster?
So the booster permit is if you have over occupancy
10?
of 10,
Okay.
right, then you have to apply for a booster permit.
Okay.
Those ranged anywhere from 11 to 16. There were a
Yep.
couple houses that had 16, but ultimately we ended up approving 26 additional parking spaces.
Great.
I talked a little bit about compliance, but complaints,
Yeah.
there have only been a few complaints, and I'd probably say 3 had to do with garbage. One had to do with the, what do we want to call that? Yeah.
Oh, the emergency incident.
Yeah, and then that's been pretty much it. It's been quieter too than I'd expected. Again, I'm trying to make sure that everyone knows that I am the conduit for those complaints too.
Casey, can you draw just a little bit about how our system worked though?
Sure,
Just for that-
absolutely.
For the
So-
incident that Marion was talking about.
It worked as it was intended to, in the sense that there were a couple of occurrences, both required the police, but afterwards too, when it came to getting in touch with the 24/7 contact, we were successful. The 24/7 contact did what we thought that they should do, and the folks were asked to leave. The owner was involved too. Essentially, by the time it got to our level, really, a lot of the problem had already been solved and taken care of by the owners in the 24/7 contact. So, and that's really important too, because we spent a lot of time going through the 24/7 contacts to make sure that they were folks that were local. And they're not all still local, but we did what we could. I would like to see a text amendment in there in the ordinance defining what local is.
What's your furthest 24/7?
Yeah, 24/7 person really I think should be within an hour.
No, I'm asking how far is the farthest right now? Do you know?
I mean, they're in various, in various other states. And part of the, part of the factor with that is that
I thought we did
people
too.
who are managing from a distance are, you know, they don't want to pay for somebody to have local to monitor incidents.
I thought we had that in
I
the,
thought we did that we
Yeah.
had it in there, but it had to be someone within.
So it actually does not say that in the ordinance. It doesn't say the word local, but that's why I'd like to do a text amendment to further define what local is.
wow.
Our fault.
Because
Yeah,
we
what
we
we
had
were
that, we
doing-
just messed it up.
Yeah,
Just-
that's our fault.
Just to clarify, what we were doing, Katie created an internal policy that she was trying to regulate it. But after doing a legal opinion about it, that we couldn't hold weight with legally. So the recommendation is we have to change the because legally, we're gonna go back to the ordinance of what defines how we enforce this.
Well,
We need
that's
to do
the-
that sooner than later.
Yeah.
because-
Sure.
That should have come back to us.
50%,
making that decision.
50% of all STRs are actually, are managed by property managers, local property managers. But there's another half of them out there, I think, trying to reduce costs and whatnot that just don't have somebody or don't know somebody local. So, anyhow, one of the last things that I wanted to touch on really, which is such a huge part of all of this, is the STR revenue tracking. We were talking about 4,000 pieces of paper a year when they were doing monthly reporting. That's vastly reduced now because it's quarterly reporting. But also, it's just vastly reduced because of the amount of resources that it was occupying with somebody having to key in every single one. And not every application that came in was right either. So it requires a tremendous amount of time. Now that folks are doing self-reporting, then that takes up far less time. And we should be able to see better data out of that in the future as well. So I put together some revenue numbers too. This comes up to about $10 million in gross revenue that comes from STRs here in the town. We all knew before that the vast majority of it was in the second quarter here during July and August, but it's just good to put some numbers with that. TOT reporting shows you that there was over 10. Marion had already reported to you as well too with her specific sources of revenue. She'd shown you 3 years in a row. It typically comes in at about $500,000 in taxes. And then it was nice because they previously reported the number of nights. If I take that number and divide it out, gives me, you know, hey, a cost. Roughly in Cape Charles, you're paying $460 a night when you're staying in an STR.
And it's just STR, that's not the hotels, B&Bs.
That's
or-
correct.
Right.
That's correct. So, like I was saying, information is power, and one of the things that we're looking forward to next year is that we're over the hump, right? Hopefully, we have dealt with the most difficult part of the database, the software, and everything else, our growing pains, et cetera, over the past year. We continue to work with the finance department, with Marion and Katie and everyone else too, to try to get those bugs out and help validate and refine the information even more so that next year, hopefully cradle to grave, this is going much faster. And our residents just keep getting better and better at it until it's really turnkey.
Have any of the management companies asked if there was gonna be like a Zapier connection?
If there was gonna be
A Zapier where the two connect to each other, like their software will talk to this software, and they actually can just literally connect? I'll let-
I'm not aware of that.
It's a program out there, Zapier. It literally will talk to multiple different software packages, and it'll just take software from one and put it right into the other. And I'm just thinking of the ones that have a whole bunch of homes
Sure.
that they're managing, that, you know, still, it's much easier doing this with.
It's
than a
done the
piece of paper.
paperwork,
But
yeah.
I was just saying, I didn't know if that company, I mean, if you ask them, they would know whether they have a Zapier connection or not.
I don't know, but I'd be happy to ask.
Clever is another company
Zapier
that
and
does
Clever.
that.
So it's very refreshing to hear you talk about the software like this, because we spent a lot of money on this and put a lot of time into it, and I feel like everything I've heard prior to tonight has mostly been you guys just banging your heads on the wall in
Amen.
frustration. So do you feel like we've finally gotten to a place where
Yeah,
you
there's
feel
still,
good about
there's
it?
still there's still more to be done. So one of the things that happened was that, you know, there ended up being a bunch of trash inside of the database now because of people putting in applications that were incorrect and whatnot. So we're trying to get all of that out right now, working with Decker to do that. We're working on the truing up of the TOT to be automated at the end of this season, which will be by January the 20th of 2027. We're working on putting in violations now too that we can log in there and track and whatnot. So we've all learned a great deal about it. Deckert has sent people here too to learn more about us. So I really think that it's just becoming a more powerful tool. And yeah, especially with the information that we have now, it's going to be easier for us to teach, educate, and I mean, you think some folks were doing paperwork for 8, 9, 10 years, and that's what I heard repeatedly. You know, hey, I've always done it this way.
Yes.
I got a new way. let me show you how. So anyhow, we've learned a great deal.
A question, Katie, you might be able to answer this better, but from how are we adding the B&Bs and hotels into this total?
We're not.
That's what I thought. Okay,
They're
Yeah.
categorized as just a regular business license.
right.
So
But when we give our top numbers in the budget, it does reflect, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
It goes into the top category still.
right. So you just take that total and add in the 4 of us that are the outliers. Okay. That still have to do it by hand.
So when they were out here though, and they saw what we're doing, because I know that the biggest problem with this is they would not do any one-offs for their individual customers. It all was, this is how it is, everybody gets the same software, and that was our biggest problem going forward. As they progress, are they gonna start like upgrading their own software and start doing more one-offs? I mean, their company, are they growing is what I'm asking? Are they gonna do stuff to get better?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that's, a lot of times, for example, our website, Cape Charles, you buy a package, you get what you get. But with this, we're constantly adding to the software, making it better, help, and they're asking our opinion. Oh, well, we hadn't thought about that. We're gonna develop that too for you guys because we know that's gonna make our software more marketable
Yeah,
to others.
absolutely.
I mean, essentially, I hate to say it, but essentially we were the guinea pigs because this was new in the marketplace. We were one of the few people that were doing it. And at the same time that we've been learning, they've been learning and making changes to it for us, but also for a larger audience.
And that's fine as long as we're moving forward that way, because it was an awfully expensive program
Yeah.
to not work
Well,
with
there were
us.
lessons learned as well. We decided to go with Civic Review and not migrate our data in from previous years as a result of migrating it into the STR program.
That was one of the.
It was a mistake on our part.
It
We didn't
was.
know.
In hindsight, one of the things that we wanted to do was to take everybody's information and put it in the system. So as soon as they logged in, be like, oh wow, look at all my stuff, my address and everything. It turned out to be a mistake. It turned out to not be a good thing. And that was the largest part of the whole problem, to be honest.
Okay.
Well, thank you
This is
guys
great.
for your perseverance. I mean, you've really,
Yeah.
really
This has
stuck
come
it
a long
out and
way.
come a long way.
What has the feedback been from the end user in the community of STR owners? Are they liking this new system? Do they
Sure.
find it cumbersome?
I honestly, because we're just through, everyone's done one application for the first time, or if you're a property manager, you've done more than that. Some of them have done 60 applications. Once you familiarize yourself with it, then you get on a roll. But I guarantee you, once they come back and they haven't touched it in another year, they'll probably be fumbling through it again. Eventually, hopefully, we'll hit our stride. The quarterly continues to be, I think, less messy second quarter, and it'll be less messy third quarter and fourth quarter,
Right.
etc.
Because they're just changing their software to match this.
It
So
is.
that when they pull up their reports, it's
Sure.
a mirror image of that's what I did with all mine, I just did that.
And that's part of our feedback too, is that users, right, we all have a different intuition about how something should work than a programmer does. And so when we talk to the programmers, we say, wait a second, these are the problems that our folks are having, and this is how they think it should work. Can we please change this?
Are you gonna do another instructional session like you did when you launched this for next?
I would like to. I hadn't gotten that far because honestly, you know what it's been like getting all the applications and now getting through this process of compliance. But we're getting to that point now where we're starting to work with support and we're starting to improve things, and then we'll start re-educating again before the start of the year. And I see that because the last quarter reporting period ends on January the 20th. After January the 20th, we should just open it back up again
Yeah.
for the next year and get going.
I'd
Well,
love
my
to see,
staff has worked so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, this is fun, but you don't know that we're
Yeah.
beating our heads against the wall
Oh, I know.
and calling and, I mean, weekends coming in just to
Yeah.
try to catch up. I mean, it has really been a challenge, but they have superseded that. I mean, Katie rocking it. Casey done so much. I mean, just a month ago, I felt like we've done, approved 200 applications. So,
Glad you had to.
I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
it's been
We
insane.
did.
well,
Yeah, I didn't either.
Go ahead, Ken.
I'd like to see some sort of analysis, return on investment for this. You know, how many did we find that probably have been operating for years but never paying taxes to us? All that kind of stuff, so that we know this has been worth our while to have spent this money this
And
way.
do the numbers go up now that everybody's being
Right.
held accountable, that they
Right.
all
And
have
then
to file?
one of my thoughts was, since 26%, only 26 or 24% are local, that says to me that maybe in January, February, we should do some Zoom calls that people can, that you do a training that the people that are out of town can sign up for and take them through that process, because I think that would be super helpful
Sure.
to kind of help them get up to speed so that they're helping you in the long run.
But your online one looked great.
Yeah.
That's really helpful.
All right, well, that's all I have.
Thank you so much.
Great job, you
Yeah,
guys.
Really
Great
great
job.
job. Thank you so much. All right, well, I don't think we're gonna do our next, or am I just doing the proclamation? Okay.
Yeah, it's right behind that. Oh.
No,
Computer.
Do you want to just read it off here?
yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to. Yeah,
That's the second.
hey, she's got it. All right.
This one's not very long.
No, this one's all right. All right, Town of Cape Charles Proclamation 2026-0716, Coast Guard Appreciation Day, August 1st, 2026. Whereas Coast Guard Station Cape Charles provides service to the nation and our region by being always ready, semper paratus, to perform their mission. And whereas Coast Guard Station Cape Charles embodies the Coast Guard core values of honor, respect, and devotion to duty. And whereas Coast Guard Station Cape Charles is committed to excellence by supporting and executing operations in a proficient and professional manner. And whereas Coast Guard Station Cape Charles leads by example, facing challenges each day to protect and serve the maritime community, to ensure the safety and security of the people on our waterways. And whereas Coast Guard Station Cape Charles conducted 181 law enforcement boardings, one of mine, and 97 search and rescue missions over the past year, most notably simultaneous responses to aid a sailboat taking on water and tanker dragging anchor after drifting towards the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. And whereas the U.S. Coast Guard was founded 236 years ago on August 4th, 1790, now therefore be it proclaimed that the town of Cape Charles of Virginia hereby recognizes August 1st, 2026 as Coast Guard Appreciation Day and calls this observation to the attention of all of our citizens. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve Proclamation 2026-0716.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, oh, I gotta go through this. I move, is it for this? Oh, no, that's not, sorry. All right, that is moved. All right, moving on. Oh, can I get approval of the consent agenda and the minutes
So moved.
and the financial?
Second?
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. No unfinished business, new business, municipal building construction phase services.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So this is the second installment of approval of a contract. This is actually a contract change order for the HBA contract that we had for, I guess we let that 4 years ago. And this is for construction phase services to support the construction of the new municipal building. And this includes everything they are required to do: review of contractor submittals for materials, review of requests for information, review of problems that the contractor has found in the construction drawings, which actually happens. And then it also includes special inspections in the case of structural steel, and also geotechnical for foundations and that type of thing. So they provided the proposal. It's a little bit over $140,000, which is in line with the cost estimate that we made 2 years ago. It was around 120, but that was 2 years old. And it equates to just a little over 2% of the contract value, which is pretty good. So we're recommending that the town manager be authorized to execute the change order to the contract.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize town manager to approve the HBA contract change order in an amount of $141,504 and the 25 cents, and approve the 5% contingency reserve of $7,075.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, what does this make the new amount of the contract,
Of the HBA contract?
of the construction contract?
It doesn't change the construction contract at all. This is a separate contract.
Separate. So this is over and above the 622.
Yeah, absolutely. It's within the $7 million estimate.
I understand, it's already going up, we haven't,
No, it hasn't gone up.
the total cost of the project is going up, correct?
No.
Based on the 622 that we talked about the
That was
last.
just for the building.
That's just construction.
This is architectural changes.
Yes, thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So the other discussion, just because we went from one period of construction year to the next, which put the building out of code. Because we've been working on it, how long?
Oh, at least 3 years.
Yeah, so they changed it from whatever the building code was at the time.
Yeah.
to the new code.
But this, as the staff report says, this is only the first add. 6.2, as somebody said, was the construction contract. This is the construction services contract. There will also be a separate contract for emergency generator. There'll be a separate contract for parking lot lighting. And that all comes up to about $7 million. Okay.
That passes.
Here we go. All right.
Town Harbor.
Town Harbor. Okay, so another engineering contract, services contract. We've had a contract with Langley and McDonald for, oh my God, over 10 years, a task order contract to provide planning and engineering services at the town harbor. Gone through successfully many fairly large projects at the town harbor. Tom is retiring, and he doesn't want to do this anymore. So for the last maybe 5 years, he's had a sub-consultant, McPherson Design Group, and McPherson did the design work, actually the technical engineering work on the last 2 or 3 projects. They are willing to have a contract assignment from Langley and McDonald to McPherson Design Group, and we're recommending that you authorize the town manager to do that. You may recall that in the budget, we have, I think, $30,000 to complete the design that had been started already to replace the inner harbor fixed dock with a floating dock. So McPherson is familiar with that. They worked on it. We need to get that completed so that we can apply for a Port Authority grant to build it if you want to build it. So we're recommending the contract assignment.
I hear a motion.
I'll make a motion that we sign the engineering services contract for the harbor improvements from Langley and McDonald to McPherson Design Group.
Second.
Are they out of Virginia Beach?
They are.
They are.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Very easy. All right, changing the day of future town council meetings.
Man, it's like daylight savings time.
Yes, indeed. They're both going away. Thursdays and daylight savings. I love it. You want me to lead it or you want
Right,
to?
yeah, I'll let you lead it.
Oh, well, I mean, we've discussed this already.
Since you
Um,
initiated it.
Yeah, a lot goes on Thursdays, and I think it was unanimous that everybody was happy to move it to Wednesdays. And if I could get a motion on moving the council meeting to Wednesdays at 6 o'clock, we can make it official.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Starting when, that was the one thing I was looking
Good question.
for.
It's immediately.
It
I
says
think-
immediately, but
right.
we've already got other stuff already on the calendar, so I was just curious.
All future ones I've done
Oh, you did is Wednesdays already.
How about that?
Isn't that an
Anything else? All right, hearing no other discussion, I move for adoption of Resolution 20260716, changing the regular meeting day of the Cape Charles Town Council as noted, and forgo reading of the resolution. Roll call vote, Ashworth,
Yes.
Buckholz,
Yes.
Moda,
Yes.
Grossman,
Yes.
Holloway,
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
All right, it is official.
How about that?
Beer pong
Okay.
Thursday.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Town Manager, floor is
All right.
yours.
So, just some quick updates. I have been regularly on the phone with VAW, just to make sure, you know, what's going on. Can you hear me now? Sorry. Yeah, just to keep in touch with Matt Elliott. He and some others are gonna come, our August 5th meeting and do a work session and just talk to the council about what happened and what they were able to do to try to, you know, scramble to remediate, how our staff kicked in to help, and what they've done since then, you know, what changes they have done, and then how can we prevent this from ever happening again. So that's what we've been discussing, and that's what he's being prepared to do. They also released a statement from the corporation so that we can send it to our community, what's going on and what happened. And we recognize that that was a worst case scenario of what could happen. And I've talked to him, and hopefully the discussion will also be, how do we communicate better to our community? You know, even in our system, we had a couple snafus ourselves, but we've also internally corrected those things of making sure that we have backup people that we can put out messages quickly and try to keep the communication better succinct between us and our agencies that we work with. So that should be a great conversation, but, you know, going forward, we took time to debrief even with our staff of what happened here, how can we make this better. Just some other notes too, some things have come to me, asked me like, were we supposed to contact state and federal agencies? The answer is no, that wasn't our end. It is a requirement for VAW to do that. So DEQ was called, the health department was called, they did come out, they did inspections, they also cleared the plans that were presented and came back to make sure that it was done correctly. So all that was done the way it was supposed to. The beach also was tested, and it gets tested frequently. And so even before that, after it, there was a testing on a Tuesday that came up. You know, the ratings were so low, there was no impact. So it's kind of a speculation of how much sewage got in. I don't know how much sewage went in. It's kind of hard to tell, to speculate for that. But we do know that thanks to our Public Works Director, Ralph, he jumped on his excavator and immediately put sand and created a berm so that we could stop that. So we really don't know how worse this situation could have been. But the good news is it has been tested. The beach water is clear. Even with all the rain that we've gotten, the numbers have still not spiked. So this year has been a great year so far. I think last year was the first time I ever saw that, where it spiked. And we do put notifications out immediately. Me and Jeb also get the notification, and then we put a notification out. there's signage and we put notifications. Libby does that on on our website. So that part of our system does work, and we'll continue to do that. But I guess to reassure council, there's things that we would like to shore up ourselves, but also very proud of how we did handle the situation. And in fact, many of you were also involved in these conversations of should we reroute the parade, and then we called many state and other local agencies to help us make those decisions and why we chose to do the things that we did. So that was good.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, any questions regarding that?
Yes. So one of the things that came to mind for me immediately were we have so many guests in town. And I'm wondering if our short-term rental software has an ability to help us send out messages to those primary people so that they're doing it. I know that, Vacation Homeowners Group and some others jumped on it, but I don't feel like we have a protocol.
No, that's a good point, because
Yeah.
our Nixle software is
Right.
really just for locals.
It is.
And so
And that
that's
day,
yeah.
we were, exceeding that. So that came to mind. And then also, just talking with the county in the same front, because on that, maybe on certain circumstances, like July 4th, we have many more people in the county that are here that aren't a part of that system. So just what is truly, I would love to see, and I'd said this in the past when we've had emergencies happen, I don't feel like we have a really clear standard operating procedure. And to me, it would be very good to have kind of a flow chart of an emergency procedures, and this is one of them. So all I could think of is all those people, when we were asking people not to flush, that didn't know that, in that given time, so.
Great, that's a great point. Well, we will create that.
I'm always talking potties, right?
That was my biggest concern that I was very vocal with Rick about, is
Yeah.
that, and I want to have that conversation with Virginia American Water, that,
Yeah.
they let you know every day when your
Yes,
water
when you're
might be just a
flushed.
tad cloudy and to run
Yeah.
it for a few minutes, but
There were nothing.
they went dark on
Yeah.
us. And it put us in a bad position. It fed a narrative that's out there that we're unprepared for things, and I think
Yeah.
it was just kind of a
Yes.
converging of a lot of bad
Was.
things, and it's not about bad people. Those guys were the boots on the ground people, worked their tails off to fix the problem, but there needs to be a way for them to continue to be communicative during
Yes,
that
during an
process,
emergency.
because I felt like we were begging for information, and as a council person, I'm calling you and,
Yeah.
do you know what to tell this person?
Right.
So it wasn't a good look for us, and I look forward to
Right.
fixing that and not
Yeah. Imagine all
condemning
those
anybody.
visitors
Yeah.
that were just hearing whisper down the lane, not having
Yeah.
any idea what that
Exactly.
really meant.
Didn't hear anything from
Yeah.
them. Yes, Council.
My question is back charging. Our services that we provided to Virginia American Water, do we consider taking those hours and back charging them
Yes.
for that work?
That's a good
I
point.
think you're right.
Just put a claim against
So
the insurance.
it was the other way around, we had to call them in.
We would be paying.
Rest assured you'd get a bill. Well,
Yeah.
now, we may have shown up without their concurrence and just pitched in, that's a different story, but I think we need to be considering,
Yes.
if not this case, in the future, how do we back charge them?
Whether we showed up or not.
Right.
That needs to be charged, because Ralph didn't show up.
I think that'll be a question I ask higher up.
Yes.
Like,
That's
I'll
correct.
talk to the president
Well,
about
like, collect
that.
the hours
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
tabulate, and if it's, I'm sure it amounts to something.
Just put it
Yeah.
in the
Okay,
second plan.
that's all I have.
Yeah.
Every other subcontractor that showed up that night
Got paid.
got paid.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
But
should be very proud.
Yes.
Your team
Oh,
did an
absolutely.
outstanding job.
Yeah.
And none of these questions, I think, undermine that or
No.
speak to.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were
no.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I was very proud of them.
Yes.
They really did work
And
hard.
they should be proud.
Yes.
of the
And
Yeah.
they were
18 hours.
here the next day.
Yeah.
Like, the show must go on, and it was awesome to be part of that. Even though we're all tired, it was just, including some of you all were very part of it too. So, Adam he beat me there the next morning.
Yeah.
So kudos.
Why going on that then?
I just appreciate that
Yeah.
we work together so great, the staff, you guys, and so that's just another testimony of how it's not always like that.
No.
So,
And I think if we have this emergency protocol, a lot of us that were wondering questions of what was the process, and it is exactly what I said when we had the the rescue, the high-speed chase, you know, when we had the murder in town, you know, those types of things. I've asked this all along, and if we know what that emergency process is, number one, we can help, but because we can distill things with people, like this is what will happen, and this is the person who speaks on it.
Right.
And that.
This is what is happening.
So, I mean, even the situation that happened with the short-term rental, Mary and I both went to address that immediately. And it was just, it was great to see how it was a way kind of a litmus test to see if our system was working with our 24/7 agent and so forth. And it just responded really well. And I was very impressed that our system was working. But more importantly, that we immediately kind of got involved with it, because we were getting calls from other people, and the police were already involved. However, the incident, did not change. It happened 2 nights in a row, and so that was a challenge for us to work through. We assumed that it was resolved, but it wasn't, but our system worked the way it should have been. So I think that was just something for you guys to be aware of. My time has been probably majority planning right now, just how much that's involved in that. We're way understaffed, so there's a lot of me working hand to hand, and I can't tell you, I was thinking, I think I have authorized over 200 short-term rental permits, but then I believe it's been over 20 building permits that have come in for us to do zoning checks and so forth. So that is a lot of work for us to go through and check these things. And on top of that, we have our daily things that they're working on and for us to look through. So I feel like I'm not getting anything done. I'm just telling you, my papers have been stacked up, but we're working to the best we can. So Berkeley is working to do the recruitment for the planning commission, the planning and zoning director. I think that's what we're calling it now. Planning and zoning director is the term that they feel that is a more marketable term than what we had before.
Than the administrator.
Yeah, than the administrator role. And then we are, Bob is wanting to retire. And so we are, it's very sad because Bob is such a core value of what we have here in my right hand. So I begged him every day, would he stay a little bit longer, and he's been gracious to help me, but he's ready. And we put out the job post, and so when I get back as well, probably we'll start the interviews of some people and candidates and things like that. And so it's neat. I mean, there's a lot of change and stuff like going on. And then lastly, I'll just give an update on just the personnel and training. So just officially, the Public Works Department has hired two new seasonals, Trayvon Owens, which was a former employee, and Andy Hernandez, who just returned back from military doing 2 back-to-back deployments.
Yeah.
The employee that we hired, seasonal, that just made a full-time, we had to let go. So it's very unfortunate.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's okay. Those things happen all the time. The town, we hired a new planning and zoning technician. This is the position that Jack was in. His name is Damian Geist, and he is doing great. He's very experienced in planning and zoning. In fact, he's the Exmoor's planning and zoning chairman for their commission. So he's got lots of experience, so it's really great. He's a hard worker. And as far as the municipal, I just talked about that one, so with that. Training, just the details of what we've been doing. Our library manager, Sharon, she has completed a finance and budgeting for library staff. Jody has gone through public policy and ethics through POSTRA. And by the way, POSTRA has asked me to be a speaker for one of their conferences. It's a panel speaker. So I'm going to be doing that. It's going to be in September. So it's just a weekend kind of thing. Libby has taken some training. It's called active listening, de-escalating techniques, and avoiding phishing attempts. So, I mean, in fact, we're getting a lot more of that all the time.
So
I feel like at least weekly.
You're not going down to your dock anymore?
For fishing.
All the staff has gone through Harassment 101, staying compliant with federal EEO laws. And supervisors, we did a mandatory best practices and recruiting and interviews for hiring. And we also did a mandatory supervisor training with a consultant that we brought in who's an attorney who does, the training was about ADA, FMLA, progressive discipline, and how to take documentation. So trying to raise the bar a little bit of how we interact and record these challenging, and also just know legally how we should handle special cases. So I think that was just something for you to be aware of.
Good thing we cut all that drain.
Great,
Yep. Any questions?
that's what you got?
Just one of the things I'd suggest is the same program that does the certified planning commissioner group also does something, it's new for HDRB. And so that might be something where we start maybe 2 people a year, or, but begin to send our review, architectural review
Oh, yeah, that would be
groups
good.
to go through those kinds of trainings as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we won't run into issues like we had this week.
Yeah, and I mean, and I'll just speak on that. I've done a couple of zoning determinations for different situations, but the one I did this week was the new restaurant that's about to open, Local Catch. If you haven't gone in, you need to. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
It really is beautiful.
I was really stunned by walking in. It looks like a high-end restaurant that you would see somewhere else. So we're very blessed to have them. They put up a ABC fence for outdoor eating and drinking outside. I went and got the guideline codes and did a determination that it is appropriate. So it falls within the means, and there's discretion of how you can, some of them are modern, some of them are traditional, but because they have changed the building a little bit with some modern techniques on it, I think it fits the modern category. So that is one of the discretions for me as a zoning administrator right now, is to do an administrative approval. So that's the way we did it, and it fit it. And the only condition that I asked him to do was to stain the wood so it matches or complements more of the dark windows, so it ties it in more. And he was like, "I'll do it right now." And I said, "No,
Yeah,
I think it's done.
let me."
it's done.
Oh, is it done already?
Yeah, it's done.
So that was really the only thing that he had to do, but everything else was fantastic. So
And I was behind most of that, but this is what we've been striving to do, is to minimize a lot of this, hey, you need to go to the historic review board kind of stuff. So we've been trying to do it for years and make it simplifying, and this is a perfect example of what should have been done.
Well, and you did really the right thing in finding out what the appropriate code was as far as ABC and following. It's not like you just said, "Oh, we'll just
No.
let that
Correct.
person have it."
I did a
You did the
official-
official way.
and followed the code.
Yeah.
Completely. So
Which is
I mean,
perfect.
it's got findings and
Yeah,
everything.
that's great.
Took pictures. Went and took pictures of every single fencing that's around all the businesses to show what's consistent, what's inappropriate. I mean, there's some inappropriate ones already there
There are. Yep,
that somehow got through.
yes.
So anyways, that's just the last one.
Thank you so much. Any other comments?
I had one, Rails to Trails. An ordinance in the county was just passed, and I had given you copies of that. And what I'm saying is we need to follow suit. The Rails to Trails is a private piece of land that Canoni owns. And without an ordinance, you can't police it. So now the county can until our order. So I talked to Ron Wolf and Elaine Bauer, the county attorney, after Tuesday night's meeting, and they agreed that the town needs to adopt it in order to allow policing for our portion out to our boundary area.
Could we make our August 5th meeting a special
Bring that for
meeting?
next meeting.
Yeah. And when is the?
You can just,
The 20th.
the counties
20th.
is
Right.
Yeah, we'll bring the
it's
same
right there.
ordinance.
Right.
But if we can change that to a special meeting, then we can
No.
vote on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Libby, you got that?
Yeah.
Special meeting on August 5th.
Anybody else?
Do we know what percentage of our full-time residents, or anybody who owns, subscribes to Nixle reports? And because the only way we're gonna get, we hear, well, no one's communicating. We're communicating. You're not hooked into the communication channels. So if we could figure out some way to get more people signed up for all the alerts,
Well, it
we'd
would be good to know what those numbers are to start with, to have an
Right.
idea. Can you pull those up, Nelby? Mhm.
I'll let you know tomorrow.
Well, the thing that happened with the sewage thing, the Nixle went out, but there was no follow-up. We didn't have a follow-up.
Right.
But if you don't subscribe, you
Right.
don't even know that.
No,
But
but a lot
to
of
Ken's
people-
point, we need once we find out how many, we can do a campaign and have multiple places of which, I mean, Libby tries all the time in the Gazette and different places, but,
Charles Day, every time we do
right.
something
But if
happens.
there's if we know a specific thing, then we can make a specific strategy
Mm-hmm.
to get it to.
Did you say Nixle is going away though at some point?
It is, it's migrating to, the main company is Everbridge.
Okay.
Yes.
And, Nixle was developed for smaller towns and police departments.
Yeah.
So they're, sort of phasing that away and just having everybody into the, Everbridge 360.
Gotcha.
I'm with that for something else, Everbridge.
Everbridge is what the county uses.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
there's somebody
Yeah,
else
was
I
gonna
get
say,
that
I
from.
think it's gonna be a better tool for
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
but also, they'll have an app that we can actually get on it immediately and instead
That's
of having to go
perfect.
into our computers
Oh,
at
yeah,
work.
that's important,
So I think it's gonna be great.
yeah.
So one other thing that we've talked about many times, and it keeps coming up, and I don't know if we can just tell Rick right now just to do it, but we need that sign made
Yes.
right after the brewery.
Yeah, I thought we were
For-
moving forward with that about
Yeah.
no
So
golf carts.
Two things that I have. So
Yes.
whoever runs that sign, it's gotta get done, because
Yeah,
they're just driving straight down that street.
but it never happened.
It never happens.
Well, it's
And
just
then-
busy, but we gave the go-ahead to go, but
Yeah,
it just
I
didn't.
thought,
Yeah.
I'll check on it. I don't know what's
And
going
then
on.
secondly, when's the Silver Bullet moving? And getting rid of the porta pots?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yesterday,
Mhm.
maybe?
Yeah.
I know that was
Yeah, I know
something we
that-
discussed in probably April.
Yeah,
Right.
so I will put that back on. It's just been very difficult for the staff right now.
Yeah.
I mean, going
Right.
back from projects to projects, they just were able to fix the beachcomber. So we kind of put a
Yeah.
message out so that people would know that, I mean, Ralph worked from 1 a.m. all night long to get the beach ready. That's the first time we've cleaned the beach this whole season.
I know.
So it's just, he's been way behind on a lot of projects.
did we get
He's away
the
for
new
2
person hired that, is that what the new hire you talked about, was that new
There was
position?
2 seasonals that we just hired. They're full-time seasonals. And so we're gonna reevaluate at the end of the season, do we need to hire, and usually what happens is, if we need a new, year-long, then one of those seasonals becomes a year-long.
Yeah, because I thought we approved in the
Full-time. We
budget
did.
for a year long,
But the
right?
help relative to the management and the scheduling of activities as
Yeah.
opposed to a lawn cutter.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly,
Mhm.
right.
Right. Yeah, and I talked to Ralph this week before he went on vacation, which is, because it's like demand is up for everything. So we need to start getting in the mindset of probably hiring people for specific things. You know, like two or three people on the beach, 2 or 3 people to do these kind of things, because right now, we don't have enough to go around. And when someone's not there, no one shows up for that thing. And so, or else he would like to cross-train everyone. But I think we need to get them, like, the core responsibilities so that we always have somebody doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Been saying it for years, they're understaffed.
Yeah.
And
Anything
you get
else?
more and more people.
I wanted
I gotta do the
to,
announcement.
So let me go back first. I just want to try to set some expectations. I will communicate to staff about trying to get the Silver Bullet back to the beach. Because we wanted both of them to be at the south end of the beach. I don't know when Ralph gets back. I want to
2
say
weeks.
2 weeks.
I
So
talked to him yesterday.
that could be, we'll try, but I know when he gets back, then he's gonna do it in 2 weeks.
Okay.
But I'll try my best to get it in within 2 weeks. It just depends on my staff load if they can get it over there.
It's the one that's gonna be pumped out, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll have,
I think they should be able to handle that.
I think
They
so
don't have to
too.
hook up.
That's right.
It certainly didn't hurt to have it at the DeLoreans on Saturday night in the park.
No, I mean, that worked out
Right.
fine, but the
But-
rest of them.
But the, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
All right, so,
Oh, I did have
oh,
one
I'm
more.
sorry, Karen.
There was this small event in town called Sailfest a few weeks ago, and I just wanted to say thank you from up here to the multitude of volunteers that helped pull that off. It was a great success. The community
Absolutely.
really came out. It looks like initial numbers are saying that we had about 17,000 people in the town over the course of the weekend, and over 6,000 just in the harbor area over the course of the weekend, which is absolutely shows that the marketing and the planning and everything came together and worked. We heard from businesses that they ran out of food, that they ran out of goods to sell over the weekend. We didn't have a Boston where we ran out of beer, thank goodness, but it looks like it was a fantastic success and everyone was very happy, particularly the fireworks were spectacular.
Yes, they were.
So nice to have it to music.
Yes, absolutely.
What a treat that was.
Absolutely. So thank you to all of the volunteers who came out and made that weekend possible.
And I just want to add in, because I think because of the emergency on July 4th surrounded, did not give credit to how tremendously all of the staff worked to pull that off. Just the event itself. It went off without a hitch, you know, and everybody, it was one of the hottest days we've ever had, but everyone was working so hard. And it's just so appreciative of that.
And again, another unbelievable fireworks show.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're painting the gazebo this week.
I saw it. Looks great.
The gazebo?
Pavilion?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't.
Look at me, I'm like,
A lot of old timers are on me, though, like, when did it
Telling
get
ya.
changed to the pavilion? Because that's been a damn gazebo since I was 5 years old.
All right, moving on. July 18th, concert in Central Park will be Roberta Lee. 25th, concert in the park, Good Shot Judy. August 1st, concert, Salsa Night with Cadencia. August 5th, Town Council Work Session, 6 p.m. August 8th, concert in the park, Full Moon Fever. August 15th, concert in the park, Brass Wind. August 19th, Town Council regular public hearing and regular meeting. And if I could get a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.